everyone. So today I have another book review. I know it's been a long time since I've done a book review, and the reason being is I really don't have a whole lot of time to read these days. I do have two book reviews coming up very shortly, including this book right here. As you can see, it is a bit of a chunky monkey. This book is Wereworld, Rage of the Lions by Curtis Jobling. So there's his name. This is book 2 in the Wereworld series. So there's the spine. I got this at my local library, so yeah. Book 1. Absolutely fantabulous. Loved it. Fell in love with a lot of characters that sadly don't make it through this book. I don't know how many of you have actually read or even watched the Game of Thrones. That is a series that I'm caught up to series 3. I know we're on series 5 or season 5 now, and I have not seen any of season 4 or season 5, so please do not put any spoilers in there, but same concept. Every book thus far, we've lost 2 or 3 really big characters and bloodlines. So it's really sad to say, because the Werelords that run the lands in this genre, or in this series, follow the male line. So whatever the father is the bloodline that's going to be carried on to the child, and that's what we find out later on in here. So if there's only a daughter born, that bloodline is automatically gone, sadly. So I started reading this over Christmas break. It is now several months over since Christmas break of 2014. Yeah. So at first I loved it, and I was getting really into it, and I got to like here in the book. So I read a big chunk of this book while in Florida, because I went home for Christmas. And then I got to the point where people started dying, like, and not just little deaths, like, you know, they go to war and they lost one person kind of thing. No, there were things that were very realistic deaths, you know, betrayals and loopholes and craziness. So there's not a whole lot of blood and gore, but there are some scenes where they get a little descriptive in the killing. So if you're, you know, I would say even 8th grade might be a little young, but I mean, if you're comfortable letting your child read that kind of thing, understand that there is a little bit of adult content. The cat lords from Bass are, I got the notion that they were highly sexualized, and the reason being is that, you know, they're mimicking cats, and cats are very slinky and you know, they fluid almost, and graceful. But the thing is, you know, one of the characters is described as having a very sheer dress, and I'm a very visual person, and I'm a grown woman. Like, I'm 25, 26 years old, and I say that because my birthday is really close, and I'm not sure when this is going to be posted, so I might be 26 by the time this gets uploaded onto YouTube. And I was just kind of like, wow. Like, I could see it all in my head. But, yeah, I thought that, I do like the fact that it seems like he's really pulling from the animals that the Werelords are associated with for certain characteristics. So, like, the cat lords of Bast are very ruthless and kind of focused, and, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like cats because they'll kill you in your sleep, you know, like, they have no problem with that. But they have an understanding of loyalty and, you know, they protect their own kind of thing. And that is very much something I love about my cats. I have a kitty named Romeo. He's a sweetheart. And he gets himself into trouble. He makes me think more of the prince. I can't remember what his name was. So in the first part, you're getting all like, yes! Because they take over the throne from King Leopold. And you're like, yes, now we're going to see some real change happening and things. And people die. People start dying fast. And I'm not going to say who dies. You're going to have to read the book to find that out. I have told you quite a few spoilers already. But they do die. And it was so disheartening, and I threw the book across the room at my parents' house, and I refused to read it. I actually ended up reading a book about drawing steampunk, which I'm also really into. And I couldn't pick this back up. Like, I was just so scared on who was going to die next, and to me, if I wasn't reading the book, I wouldn't know who would die. And I finally said, you know what? Read the book so you can move on with the series. And maybe, just maybe, things will get better. Drew loses some body parts. I will say this. Van Kusken, I believe is how you say his name, the Rat Lord, one of the characters that I couldn't wait to be dead, is dead. By his own creations, actually. Thankfully. I'm still worried about Hector, the Boar Lord. His dabbling in necromancy is getting very frightening. And I worry about his character's development as the series progresses. So character development has really intensified this book, and I love that. Thankfully, they have really grown and started to blossom. We've seen Gretchen slightly become less of a damsel in distress. She still is a damsel in distress, but Whitley kind of picks it up in the female warrior end. And actually, I just learned a term. So there is a term that we use at my job to describe women who are kind of on, not like fat or heavy set or anything, they're just really built women that, you know, they have a big bone structure and naturally have a larger mass to them. And we have a woman like that in my shop, and the guys kept calling her a shield maiden, and I was like, what the heck is a shield maiden? And they're like, a woman who is built kind of like a man and could probably kick your butt. And they looked, and she's like, okay, I can dig that. So anyways, she got dubbed Shield Maiden at a party, a little get-together for another one of my coworkers who's actually leaving. So Whitley makes me think of a Shield Maiden. She kind of didn't want to call on her bear side before, and in this book you really see her try to emulate Drew, because Drew is able to partially change, actually. He can, you know, elongate his snout, grow his teeth and his claws, and get a heavier brow and, you know, stronger body form without going full wolf. And I think that's pretty awesome that he can do that, and Whitley tried really hard just to do that, to find that inner bear strength within her. And it was so awesome to just see her slowly learn to accept the other part of her that she didn't like so much. And I loved that. I loved that aspect of that character development. Drew's becoming darker, but that happens with people in general when they've seen war and death and just all of it, you know, that's you know, that stuff changes people, and I'm glad that it's reflected. Like, I hate to say that. I hate to say, oh, I'm glad to see people change because they've seen all of this, you know, evil. But in the story, it makes things so real. You can almost, like, feel like you're, like, these characters are standing in front of you. If you're a very visual person like I am. That is part of my creative side, is that I do see pictures for thoughts. And I don't want to, I keep feeling like I'm giving away. Story development, definitely up and down. Vocabulary and sentence structure, not very complex. I didn't see too many run-on sentences, not a whole lot of words repeated. I mean, there was a little bit of repetition, but not a whole lot. New characters were introduced at the very end. I was really excited about that, and I'm nervous for how they're going to be because they're birds of prey. And that's all I'm going to say about them. So I kind of want to read the third one, but I'm nervous to see who dies in the third one. I really don't want to lose any more characters. I really don't. I love them all. And I hate to see good characters, or characters that I was starting to like, turn against them and, you know, switch sides and everything like that. Like, I hate that part. But again, this is very much, you know, natural characteristics that you'll see in human and in real life. You'll see these kinds of emotions and relationships and interactions and things like that. So yeah, on a scale of 5 being yes, go out, get it, read it right now, and a scale of 1 like, oh, I don't know what I was thinking when I read this book, like when I grabbed this book, but anyways, I would give this a 3.5. Definitely it's a good book, yes. Great characters, everything like that. Like, the storyline is solid. Personal choices, 3.5, because I lost so many of my favorite characters, and some of the parts tended to drag on, I found, and I kind of lost interest. Like, I kept forgetting about the book more often than not, which is why it took me like 4.5 months to read this book, and I kind of had to force myself to read that last chunk, because I knew there were people coming, you know, there was more people to die, and I'd gotten so choked up and nervous, and but I also don't have a whole lot of time to read as it is, between, you know, crochet, all my projects and stuff like that, and recording videos and editing, and now I'm socializing again. Like, I just got to a point where I was like, I don't ever socialize, and so now I'm out in the world again and enjoying real life, and I forget to read, and I miss it. I really do. I'm not gonna lie, and it's really hard to, like, because I can't take books to work. I can, but it has to be it has to be involve my work, what I do. So that's the only part that's disheartening. But also, this is a library book, this isn't my book, and I work in a lot of oil and a lot of chemicals and things like that, and I don't want them getting on this book and then end up back at the library and getting another kid sick. Like, that's not right. So that's another reason why I don't take the books to work with me. Yeah, I can't really think about anything else to say about this book. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I check my YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube a lot. Not gonna lie, like, I'm in front of, like, if I'm not in front of my phone, which has Wi-Fi, watching YouTube, I'm on my computer and I'm watching YouTube. or editing video, or uploading, or I'm uploading. So I'm here a lot. I just don't ever leave my craft channel for very much. But I try to check it on a weekly basis, all of my channels, so I will try to get back to you or answer your questions as much as I can, as soon as I can. Like if you want to see more book reviews. I'm trying to get better about these. And subscribe if you haven't, because Lord knows I'm going to be posting more videos, and if you want to see them as soon as I'm done editing and then uploading, you can see them too. And see all my craziness. Actually, I'm not really crazy on video. I'm a lot more crazier than in person, actually. But yeah. So until next time, guys. Bye.